Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. So, the day got away from me. Busy day. So, shooting indoors for the first time in a little while. So, today's topic is going to be all pain is real. So, I'll address that topic in a minute. Take a couple of nice breaths. What a day. Group coaching. Met with my book writing coach in between. Got another group coaching call in another 20 minutes. Figured I'd shoot a quick video for you so I don't have to do it at 10 o'clock tonight. Hope everybody's doing well. Smile. Relax your body. Allow your breathing to take on a natural pace. Get this intellectual knowledge here. Know that you're all right. You can do this. All right. So, all pain is real. All of it. If you can sense it and you think, ouch, it's real. Right? Don't ever let anybody tell you that your pain's in your head. It's imagined. Don't let people convince you that you must be crazy. Because if it's not caught, here's the deal. We start to try to explain this mind-body concept, perceived danger pain. And I hear people mix up those words. So you mean it's perceived pain? No. Perceived danger pain. So this is not perceived pain. The pain is oh so real. And I know that for sure because I dealt with it for 13 years. The pain is extremely real. It can be quite disabling, very disturbing, very upsetting, scary, all that stuff, right? You know what that's like. So the pain is real. And if somebody's saying, oh, it's in your head, they don't know what they're talking about. All pain is real. We feel it in the body. Now, for anybody who's misinterpreting my explanation of what causes pain, I believe that when the brain is perceiving danger, it turns on pain. That doesn't mean your pain's in your head. It just means that the cause of it is a brain perceiving danger. It's not imagined. The pain's real. If you feel like your back hurts, your back hurts. The pain's real. If you got a headache, your head hurts, right? And I'd like to kind of view this as the brain is the control center where the projector is, and the body is the screen for the movie. So if your brain is saying, ouch, it projects that pain through the nervous system to your back, or your arm, or your hand, or your knee, or your head, or whatever. The pain is very real. And all pain is created in the brain. Even pain from true injuries. So let's analyze that. Well, what do you mean, Dan? So you mean if I fall off a bicycle and break my arm, the brain's creating the pain? That sounds stupid. I got a broken arm. It's not stupid at all. The brain is a control center for the entire human body. Without the brain, you cut your head off, nothing happens. Right? So if you fall off a bike and you break your arm, the brain is still creating the pain based on what? The perception of danger. The brain goes, holy crap, you just fell off the bike. We felt a snap. Oh, and your arm is all jacked up. The perception of danger is like, holy cow, we're in trouble. The arm doesn't create the pain. The arm sends a signal up the nervous system, and the brain has to interpret all of the available information, which is there's a nociceptive signal coming from the body that says impact, and the brain has to go, well, we heard a crack. We just fell on pavement. It hurts when I move it. I think I broke something. We heard the crack. I broke something. And it's up to the brain to go, ouch. Here's the pain. Without the brain, nothing happens. You take a dead body, break its arm, nothing happens, right? And I know that sounds pretty morbid. I'm not suggesting any of that. The brain creates the pain. There's an interesting scientific experiment where they basically took a subject and they had him put his hand around a wall, and then in front of them put a fake hand, like a rubber hand, and draped the guy's sweater or shirt over this fake hand, and then did some interesting things that the guy watched. Now, granted, his arm is over the wall, and his real arm is not being touched, but the fake hand was being touched with a ruler at the same time as his other hand was. The one over the wall was being touched with a ruler, as was the rubber hand. And then through this experiment, they basically trained the brain to believe that the rubber hand was the real thing. Because as you would touch the real hand on the other side of the wall and touch the rubber hand, and the brain was perceiving the sensations from the real hand, it didn't know the difference between the real hand versus the fake one that it was looking at. And then at the end of the experiment, the guy takes a hammer and whacks the rubber hand. And the guy reacted with pain. Ow! And he flipped out, right? Really interesting experiment. If I can find it again, I will share it in the comments. Fascinating, though. The brain created the pain, even though the only thing that got smacked was a rubber hand, which wasn't his. So, all pain is real. Even that pain wasn't caused by a traumatic injury to the body, but it was caused by the brain perceiving that its hand just got smacked. So all pain is real. You're not crazy. You're not imagining it. It's not in your head. You're not crazy. You're not psycho. You're not, there's a term, psychosomatic pain, or psychosomatic, right? Which means you have a somatic feeling in your body that's created by psychology, meaning your brain thinking. And one of the reasons that Dr. Sarno, who's the original founder of all this stuff, did not call the pain that he was describing as psychosomatic is because that had a negative connotation in the mental health world back then that was imagined. You're crazy. You're making it up. Which is absolutely not true. The pain is oh so real. It's just not created by a flaw in the body. And all of our symptoms are also very real. They're just not created by a flaw in the body. It doesn't matter if you've got heart palpitations, dizziness, shortness of breath, right? A fast heart rate when you stand up, POTS, for example. It doesn't matter what your symptoms are. They're not created by a flaw in the body. Perceived danger creates symptoms, and it is a response to perceived dangers. So I really wanted this video to touch on the fact that you're not crazy at all. I know you're not imagining it because I certainly wasn't. And I know nobody that I work with as a coaching client is imagining anything. Nobody's crazy. I will point this out. You are not broken. Your brain just thinks you are. You're not broken, not mentally, emotionally, or physically. You're not broken. So don't assume that hearing about this mind-body concept called perceived danger pain, Sarno called it TMS, don't assume that because the brain is creating it, it's imagined. Don't assume that it means you've got an emotional problem or a mental problem. You don't. Everything's working perfectly. Your brain is just misinterpreting things as dangerous that are not actually dangerous. And again, in the case of a real injury, the perceived danger is still legitimate. In that case, it's a real threat to the body that just happened. But the good news is, when that happens, get it taken care of. You put your arm in a cast, the body heals. So in the case of a true injury, the body heals. Should not turn chronic. In the case of an onset of TMS, perceived danger pain, feels like an injury, but some cases that stays persistent. And in my opinion, the formula that turns a one-time pain into something persistent is fear and attention. Fear plus attention equals chronic, persistent. So the good news is, once we know the formula to create something that's chronic, well, if we wanted chronic to go away, we look at fear plus attention. Well, let's take away the fear with accurate knowledge of what's really going on so that we can take our attention and shift it away. And now when there is no fear and no attention, the brain's no longer perceiving danger, so turns off the symptoms or the pains. So it's not overly complex, folks. I just really wanted everybody to, who's ever heard, it's in your head. So you're telling me about this thing called mind-body pain, perceived danger pain, TMS. So does that mean you're crazy? Does that mean you're making it up? You're imagining it? Are you doing that to yourself? No. The pain's real. The brain's creating it because it's misinformed and scared. That's it. It doesn't make you crazy. Doesn't make you weak. Doesn't make you mental. None of that stuff. It's all real. And I know I'm not crazy or mental or any of that stuff. I dealt with it. So the pain's real. The good news is it's reversible. You give the brain the accurate information that you're actually okay. That'll dial down the fear. Now you don't have to pay attention to it. The brain can let those things fade away once you've done an effective job at recovering from fear. So that's the key. All right, folks, all pain is real. You know that. But if somebody's ever told you that or told you it's all in your head, you don't have to listen to them. You can say you're wrong. I know 10 times more about symptoms and pain than you do. So, no, I'm not crazy. I'm actually on the right path. So, love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow. Take care.